I bought this camera, and I had the smallest, literally the smallest SD card in the world. I don't know why, but I had a 2 gigabyte SD card. And the SD card apparently wasn't compatible with the camera. So everything that I filmed on the SD card gave, and I only had sound. And I was like, are you kidding me? So then I had to go buy another SD card. So this will be the third attempt to film a YouTube video. Before I get started on my makeup tutorial, be sure to like the video, comment down below what kind of video you might want to see next, and what do the YouTubers say? And make sure you subscribe and follow me on Instagram. That's the only social media I really use, and I'll put it like here, at Tori and I'll spell it here-ish so that you can go and follow me there. So let's get on to the makeup. So for makeup, the way I like to start, it depends on the occasion, really, but generally I like to start with my eyebrows. So I'm gonna get my brow paint, which it's like, I'm gonna explain how I do my makeup as if you were doing your makeup for the first time. So I'm sorry if it's very elementary, but a brow pomade is, mine's by e.l.f. Here it is. It's basically like a crayon in a pot that, like, it's like wax. It's waxy. I don't know if you could see that. So I'm gonna get that. Get my makeup brush out. So I use a couple different makeup brushes to do my eyebrows. I use 3. So, and I got my makeup brushes from this, it's a really suspicious website if we're gonna be honest, but I mean, I love the brushes because they're labeled, so I get to look at the brush and like read what it is. Okay, after it takes me about years to find my makeup stuff, I'm using, it's called a lash brush, but I call it a little spoolie. It looks like this. And basically this is like my brow comb. And they do have actual brow combs. They look different, but they do the same thing. Then I also use an angled brush, so it looks like this. I don't know if you could see that. And this one's called an angled brow brush, and this one creates the fine hairlines. And the last brush I use is a concealer brush, and mine looks like this. Sorry, I'm blind in my eye, so I have to close my eye to see. So my concealer brush I clean up after I'm done drawing on my eyebrow. So to start, I'm going to just brush out my eyebrows, because I have 2 apparently. I don't have 1. The way I said that sounded like I only have 1. So I'm gonna brush out my eyebrows so that they're not crazy, because you ever wake up and sometimes your eyebrows are like, whoa, and you're like, how'd that happen? And then I'm going to take my brush and I'm just gonna lightly dip it in my pomade. And brand doesn't really matter to me. Whatever the cheapest thing you can find, that's really how I go. So if you can find clearance makeup, use it. Anyway, so now I'm gonna just start outlining the bottom of my eyebrow, and I'm gonna make sure all my brow hairs are brushed upward. And you have to have a very light hand when you're doing this part, because if you go dark, yeah, you can brush it out, but it's better to have a light hand and add more than to have to put too much and try and figure out how to get it off. So you want to do your makeup, if you do it on one side, you immediately want to do it on the other side so that you remember how you did it. because there are that many times when I like do one side, I stop, and I do something, and then I forgot how I did it. So the other side does not look the same sometimes. So now that I did that, I'm going to go with my little spoolie, and I'm going to brush all my hairs down. And then I'm going to just get a little bit of pomade, and something's bothering my eye, actually. Now I'm going to outline how I want the top to look. And the bottom is really, like, it doesn't really do anything for your shape, to me, that much. I don't know, someone else might see something different. But your top is, like where everything's defined. So you're actually going to want to use your eyes to do this part. Around here, where your eye ends, you're going to follow, like, this line here on your bottom lid. And you're going to just, like, do that angle. I hope you can see. And that's where you want your eyebrow to definitely be over with. But you don't want it to be, like, done here. So somewhere in, like, that range. And then when you're looking in your mirror, you're going to want to go from, like, here on your nose, so, like, where your nostril kind of, like, finishes rounding. You're going to go from that angle, and around there, that's where you're going to want your arch to be. And then when the socket for your eye, where that is, over here, that's where you're going to want your eyebrow. Okay, I hope this is recording. Anyway, so my camera cut off, and so I ended up just doing this brow off camera. So I'm gonna do this brow on camera to show you how I just fill it in. And trust me, it's going to look better after I use concealer to help clean it up. So you just kind of like draw it out a little bit, and you want to mimic the same shape on both sides. So if you want a really curvy brow, that's fine. Just have a curvy brow on both sides, you know? So I just kind of take it and very lightly just start to sketch out the shape I'm gonna want for my eyebrow. Kind of like that. And I know that they look different, and that's okay. And I'm gonna take my spoolie to help blend out the pomade so that the lines aren't so harsh. And then I start off light so that I can always add to it if I want to. So just I like to be very, very light. The way you do it lighter is you just don't press hard. And I'm just explaining that once again in case anyone was like using makeup for like the first time ever. You don't press hard if you want it to be very, very soft. Okay. So now that I have them basically filled out to how I want them to be, I'm gonna hold my mirror a few feet away to make sure they look okay. I don't really like to use concealer to outline my eyebrows because I feel that it makes it look faker. So I actually use foundation, and to match foundation, I'm gonna make a separate video for that because it's not easy to explain. So I'm gonna just put a little foundation on my hand. I'm just put a squirt, and then get my mirror and get brush. So what I'm gonna start off and do is just get a little bit on my brush. So I'm just gonna pat it, and I'm going to just outline. So I'm just gonna I like to start with the middle, and then I just go up, then I just go up, and then I fill in right. People say not to box your eyebrows, but if you do it right, they can't tell. And then I like to go underneath. See, like, they kind of like cleaned it up. Now I'm gonna go on the other eyebrow. Okay. And once again, the top of your eyebrow is gonna be where the shape really takes place, because that's what shapes your eyebrow. So I like to start with the end and just swipe it really fast, and go with the front and swipe, because the faster you go, the straighter your line's gonna be. And just take it and just go with it, because you can always go back and add more pomade. And once again, I'm just gonna do it to both sides. And once again, I'm gonna try and get my eyebrow to end with that like line there. So this one does, and that one does not. So I have to go back and I have to fix that. One thing I get asked a lot is like, how do you know how to like shape it and stuff? And I always tell them, your face has natural markers, so use it. So like this, that's just because of your natural face shape. So that's how I can give you this tutorial and it worked for everybody, because everyone's face is going to be made. So now I like to take my finger and I just blend around it so that it's not that obvious. And then hold your mirror away again and look at your eyebrows. And if you don't like it, go back with your brow brush and just add a little more. And that's good enough for. So now you're going to probably have extras on your hand, extra foundation or concealer. So I just take a little bit and I just put it over my acne spots. So I have that little spot on my forehead, that little like area. And I just kind of blend it out. And a little bit does go a long way. A little more, I have this little spot on my chin. Always have a towel somewhere nearby so you can wipe your hands and your brushes. I have this spot here, not anymore. And I have this. And then anything extra, I don't like to waste up. So I just kind of put it on my face, because it's going to be used later anyway. And it kind of looks like I already have a full face of foundation on. Okay, and that's how I do that part. Now, I'm going to do just a simple wing liner. Just a simple liner, because I don't feel like doing all that makeup. So I'm just gonna grab a liner. You should use an eyeliner that complements your eye color. I know that a lot of people use black liner, but and you can use black. But I find that if you have brown eyes, it makes your brown eyes more if you use a brown eyeliner. So that's what I'm gonna do. I have a bunch of makeup bags, and I'm surprised I ever know how to do my makeup, because my makeup's just everywhere. I never know where anything is, and I usually find everything last minute. So, okay. Now I'm gonna take my eyeliner, and I'm gonna try and get closer here. I hope you can see. And I kind of like to just go really fast. So I just start and I just start and just swoop, and now I'm gonna just follow the natural shape of my eye. And that's how I do a winged, I ended up doing a wing. That's how I do a winged eyeliner. You can totally drag it out more, but there's a point where it becomes ridiculous. So if it's your first time doing eyeliner, you could totally just do just the line and it'd look okay. So I'm gonna do a line just so that you could see how that looks. Just poke myself in the eye. So this is just regular liner. It's not really winged. This one has a wing. Either is fine. Okay? So I'm just gonna add my wing. So now I'm done with my eyes for now. I'm not going to put on mascara yet because I have to do the rest of my makeup. So now I'm gonna go in with my foundation and put that all over my face. But since I already have foundation on, normally I would do that. Since I already have foundation on, I'm not going to. I'm just gonna set my face. So I like to take translucent powder and a powder brush, or you could just take this little like pom-pom thing and you just tap it and then put just a little bit all over your face, just so that like you could set it. So I just like, now you don't have to wear foundation. Everything in makeup is optional. Everything. So if you don't want to fill in your eyebrows, go ahead. Don't fill in your eyebrows. No one cares. No one should care. And you could totally do it over your eyes like I just did, but you just have to be very careful. And I ended up not using my brush, but you could use either. You can choose. Now, after that, I'm going to go in and contour a little bit. This is going to be just like a natural makeup look. So right now I'm going to take a slanted contour brush, and I'm going to use a little bit of bronzer, which it comes in this cute pit. And it's going to be this middle one right here. Hope you can see that. This middle one. I'm just going to take a little bit and then do like a kissy face and just go here, like right on top of that bone. So you'll see what I mean. And now you have to blend it out, because you don't want to walk around looking like this. And always blend it like into your hair a little bit. And now, like, this side you're like, ugh, she fat. And this side you're like, ooh, she snatched. So this warms up your face. And if you don't know how to do eyeshadow, a thing that you can always do, is a little trick I learned from Kendall Jenner, is that you could just take a little bit of bronzer and put it on your lid and be totally fine, because it's gonna like make it all match. So do the same thing on the other side. And then if you have like way too much on, or if you just want to blend it out a little more, you can always take, I just had it, swear to God, I just had it up. You could always take a little, what is this? I have like glue in my brush. Disgusting. You could always take, you take a powder brush with a little bit of powder on it. You could take a blending brush, whatever you want. You could take a clean contour brush and just blend it out. Now I'm going to take a blush brush and blush and do my blush. So the way I like to do blush, there's a couple of different ways. So you can use a really light color and it would look natural, or you can use a darker color to pull your cheeks to like the center. So I'm gonna use the darker color for right now, but very lightly. And if you smile, you're gonna look at the apples of your cheeks. So here and here. Very lightly. Blush can be very potent, so you're gonna want to be very light. And drag it up a little bit so that it doesn't look like a clown. And the last thing I'm going to do is my highlighter. I'm gonna have like a word count of how many times I say I'm just gonna choose whatever color is gonna match my I'm gonna just choose a color that matches my eyeshadow. And since today I didn't have any and I just did eyeliner, I'm just gonna do a light yellow color. So like this one. And this one, you kind of like, you put highlighter on high points of your face. So I only really like to do it on the tops of my cheekbones. So like here, on the tip of my nose, and then a little line, but don't connect it. So it's going to be like an exclamation mark. So like line and then dot. My Cupid's bow, which is here. And then my eyebrows. And what you do on one side, do to the other. And And that basically finishes up your face. Now, this is the part where you're kind of like, oh, I'm wrapping things up. You put on mascara and curl your lashes. So to put on mascara, you just take your mascara wand and like slowly blink into the brush. And I don't really wear false lashes, so I'm not gonna show you how to put those on, because honest to God, I don't know how. So now I'm gonna move on to lips. I like lining my lips. So how I do my lips is usually I will take a darker colored liner than the lipstick color I'm gonna use, and then it'll be like a shade or two darker. So right now I'm gonna use whatever shade I want on my lips. So I just bought this new lipstick like a week ago, and I've already lost it, and my feelings are a little hurt because I really liked it. It's the one place in the world that I really want to travel to. I want to go to Cannes, and not the restaurant, the city, Cannes. And they have a NYX lipstick called, it's like from different places of the world, and they have this one particular shade called Cannes, and it matches my skin tone perfectly, but I lost it. So I have no idea where I put it. Okay, well, new plan. So I have these lip glosses that I got for Christmas from my mom, and they're Anastasia Beverly Hills lip glosses, and it's like the cutest little lip glosses. So I'm gonna actually use this one.